Welcome back, Stoics. Today we will explore what are 8 ruthless Stoic lessons that will make you dangerously smart from anyone. Have you ever wondered why the world tried to convince you that being kind is enough? That being patient is enough? That being a good person is enough? But the ancient Stoics knew a darker truth, one most people today refuse to face. If you want to survive, to rise, to protect your sanity and your future, you need more than kindness, you need clarity, you need discipline, and sometimes you need a level of ruthless wisdom that scares even you a little. This isn't the soft philosophy people quote on social media. This is the raw version, the version reserved for warriors, emperors, survivors, for anyone who's been betrayed, underestimated, or forced to rebuild themselves from ashes they didn't set on fire at night. I want to tell you a story of a man who learned 8 ruthless Stoic lessons the hard way, through loss, betrayal, and a painful awakening. A man who walked into life blind, and walked out of it dangerously smart. His name doesn't matter. It could be anyone, it could be you. He grew up believing people were what they showed him, believing loyalty was forever, believing friends would stay, solid partners would stay honest, and family would stay real. But life isn't a fairy tale, life is a battlefield, wearing a friendly smile. First strike came from someone he trusted, the kind of betrayal that doesn't just break your heart, it breaks your worldview. It teaches you that not everyone claps when you win, and not everyone apologizes when they hurt you. Some people actually enjoy watching you fall, some people smile at your face while sharpening the knife behind your back. The truth is, he never saw it coming, not because the signs weren't there, they were. He just ignored them because he wanted to believe in people more than he believed in reality. But reality doesn't care about what you want, it only cares about what you see. And what you refused to see that night changed everything. And the next morning, he woke up with a new vow. Never again. He didn't want revenge. He wanted wisdom. He didn't want to become cold. He wanted to become controlled. He didn't want to shut down. He wanted to level up. That journey, full of brutal truths, emotional cuts, and Stoic awakenings, became the blueprint for what I'm about to share with you. 8 ruthless Stoic lessons that will make you dangerously smart. These lessons aren't nice, they aren't comforting, but they are real. And real is what saves you. Lesson 1 begins like a whispered truth, something people spend their whole lives avoiding. Lesson 1: people show you who they are. Believe them. The first time the Stoics never begged for loyalty. Why? Because they understood something most people don't. Human behavior doesn't lie. Only people do. Our stories man learned this after the betrayal that shattered him before it happened. He ignored the small things, the half-truths, the excuses, the last-minute changes, the I forgot, the sudden distance, the subtle criticism disguised as jokes. Every sign was a warning, but he wrote every sign off because he wanted the relationship. 2. Work. We've all done this with friends, partners, co-workers, even family. We see patterns forming, red flags, waving inconsistencies, stacking. But we tell ourselves maybe it's nothing, maybe they're just having a bad day. But people don't betray you out of nowhere, they warm up to it. They practice in small ways. The Stoics taught that the highest form of intelligence is seeing people clearly without needing them to be anything else. No fantasies, no projections, no potential, just reality. Man finally understood this when he replayed every moment he had ignored. The clues were there, the behavior was loud. He just didn't want to hear it. That's when he became dangerous, because once you accept that people reveal themselves early, you stop giving second chances to first offenses. He didn't confront anyone, he didn't start arguments, he didn't put on a show, he simply adjusted his expectations to match reality. And when you do that, nobody can blindside you again. But this lesson led him into an even harsher truth lesson: to never expect loyalty from people who can't even be honest with themselves. People lie to you the same way they lie to themselves. Self-deception is their native language. The friend who betrayed him, that friend had been lying to himself for years, telling himself he was loyal, solid, trustworthy, while making decisions that proved the opposite. The Stoics understood this deeply. A person who lacks inner discipline cannot offer outer loyalty. You can't trust someone who avoids responsibility. You can't rely on someone who can't control their impulses. You can't expect consistency from someone whose emotions run their life. But he didn't know that back then. He thought loyalty was about history, about how long someone had been in your life. The truth? History means nothing if the present is rotten. Marcus Aurelius said you have power over your mind, not outside events. But most people never learn to control their mind. They never master their impulses, their ego, their envy, their greed. So they become unpredictable. Not because they're evil, but because they're weak. The man realized something painful but liberating: weak people will betray you faster than bad people. Bad people have intentions. Weak people just crumble. This shifted everything. He stopped giving weight to years, he started giving weight to character. This lesson sharpened him, but also isolated him, because once you start seeing people clearly, you see how many of them aren't who they claim to be. And that led to the 3rd lesson, the one that burned the deepest. Lesson 3: your silence is a weapon. Use it. When he first got betrayed, he wanted to yell, he wanted to confront, he wanted closure, explanations, justice. But something stopped him. A Stoic teaching he once heard: don't respond to noise with more noise. So he chose silence, not the passive silence of someone defeated, but the cold strategic silence of someone who knows their value. He didn't argue, he didn't complain. He didn't post anything, text anyone, or try to prove anything. He just disappeared. And that silence hurt people more than any words could, because silence forces people to confront themselves. It creates a mirror. They can't escape one by one. The same people who betrayed him came back, confused, guilty, curious, even threatened. But by then, he was different. His silence had built a new version of him. He learned that silence protects your energy, your dignity, and your strategy. That sometimes the most powerful move is no move. That when you stop explaining yourself, people reveal what they really were. To youth Stoics believed the wise speak only when speaking changes something otherwise. Silence. And this silence prepared him for the next lesson, the one that hardened him into someone unshakably. The fourth lesson arrived during one of the loneliest stretches of his life, a time when the noise had died down, when the betrayals had settled, and when the world had gone quiet enough for him to hear his own thoughts without distraction. And that was exactly when he discovered the truth that most people run from their entire lives. Lesson for you: emotions are not commands. Master them or they will master you. It started on an evening that felt heavier than usual. He sat alone, thinking about everyone who had hurt him, thinking about every moment he wished he could redo, every conversation he wished he had handled differently. The kind of night when emotions try to drag you by the throat into the past. But something shifted in him. For the first time, he didn't drown in the feeling. He watched Itha. Stoics taught that emotions are natural, but they are not instructions. They are signals, but not orders. They are weather patterns, not destiny. A storm in the mind does not mean you must act like you are in danger. He finally understood that. He saw how many of his past mistakes came from reacting instead of responding, from speaking too fast instead of thinking deeply, from assuming feelings were facts, and worst of all, from acting while hurt, tired, angry, or afraid. He remembered a quote from Epictetus: "It is not the thing that disturbs you but your opinion about it," and suddenly it made sense in a way it never had before. Your anger is not truth, your fear is not truth, your loneliness is not truth. The Stoics lived by a principle that modern people hate hearing. You are owed nothing, not respect, not love, not loyalty, not apologies, not closure, not fairness, nothing. And when he accepted that harsh truth, something miraculous happened. He stopped waiting, he stopped expecting, he stopped depending. He stopped hoping the world would change. Instead, he changed himself. He took responsibility not for what happened to him, but for what he would do next. He decided that everything he lacked, he would build. If he wanted peace, he would create it. If he wanted strength, he would train it. If he wanted wisdom, he would study it. If he wanted discipline, he would practice it. If he wanted a better life, he would construct it from the ground up. He realized he owed himself everything he wished the world had given him, and that shift in mindset made him unstoppable. This realization hardened him, but also awakened him. It led to a lesson that separates the wise from the lost, the disciplined from the distracted, and the dangerous from the forgettable. Lesson 6: not everyone deserves access to you. Protect your space like a fortress. The old hymn. Let everyone in friends, acquaintances, people who seemed friendly, people who needed a favor, people who never gave anything back. He didn't know the value of access, so he handed it out like candy. But after betrayal, silence, heartbreak, and self-reflection, something became clear. He wasn't losing because he was weak. He was losing because he was available to the wrong people. The Stoics valued boundaries more than most people realized. They believed that protecting your mental space was just as important as protecting your physical space. If you let the wrong people into your mind, they will break it. If you let the wrong people into your heart, they will drain it. If you let the wrong people into your life, they will slow it. The man realized he had been paying the price for people who had no business being close to him, so he began building a new kind of life, a fortress life, not a prison, a fortress open to the worthy, closed to the careless. He didn't cut people off with anger. He simply faded away with clarity. Anyone who drained him lost access. Anyone who disrespected him lost access. Anyone who took more than they gave lost access. Anyone who lied even once lost access. This was not cruelty. This was quality control, a security system for the soul. And for the first time in years, he felt free, not because he was alone, but because he finally understood the value of choosing who stands next to him. This boundary building brought him face to face with another harsh truth, a truth he had avoided his entire life. Lesson 7. Lesson 7 didn't arrive gently. It didn't whisper or hint or unfold slowly. It came crashing into his life like a truth he had avoided for too long, a truth that hurt at first, but freed him in ways he never expected. Lesson 7. Your future requires sacrifices. Your past self will hate it. Happened one morning when he was staring at an old picture of himself surrounded by people who once meant everything to him. He saw a version of himself that was softer, more naive, more trusting. Someone who wanted to keep everyone happy. Someone who thought staying the same was safer than growing. Someone who believed comfort was the point of life. But he wasn't that person anymore. Life had cut him, carved him, and reshaped him. Every betrayal, every disappointment, every heartbreak, every lonely night, every silent walk, every painful lesson had sculpted him into someone new, and he realized something. The person he used to be would not survive the life he wanted. Growth requires sacrifice, and the first version of you that must die is the one that keeps you Looked at that picture again and felt something strange. Not sadness, not nostalgia, but acceptance. He finally understood why so many people get stuck in life. They cling to an old identity that no longer fits the future they want. He had to let go. Let go of wanting approval, let go of old habits, let go of old distractions, let go of old relationships, let go of old dreams, let go of old fears, let go of the past version of himself that the world was comfortable with. The Stoics believed you must be willing to burn your old self to become the person you were meant to be. Transformation is never gentle. It is violent, it is uncomfortable. It demands sacrifice, and the biggest sacrifice is letting go of who you used to be. As he embraced that truth, he felt a surge of power he had never known before. He stopped negotiating with his potential. He stopped choosing comfort over progress. He stopped waiting for motivation. He started waking up earlier, working harder, studying longer, and thinking deeper. He became someone who didn't need inspiration because he had discipline, someone who didn't need validation because he had purpose, someone who didn't fear loss because he had gained himself. That shift led him to the final lesson, the lesson that transformed him from wounded to wise, from broken to unbreakable, from ordinary to dangerously smart. Lesson 8. The most powerful move is staying unmoved. Last lesson didn't come from a tragedy, it came from a test, a simple moment that revealed everything he had become. One afternoon, someone from his past reached out. Someone who had betrayed him, someone who once shook his world, someone who had hurt him deeply. They wanted to talk, they wanted back in, they wanted forgiveness, they wanted a second chance. The old him would have been tempted. The old him would have argued, the old him would have explained. The old him would have felt obligated to respond, but the new him, the stoic version of him, did something unexpected, something powerful, something silent. He stayed unmoved. No anger, no reaction, no emotional spiral, no desire to reopen a door that led to nowhere. He finally understood the heart of Stoic wisdom. Power is not in controlling others, power is in not letting others control you. He realized he no longer needed closure, he no longer needed validation, he no longer needed to fix anything, he no longer needed to prove anything. He had become someone who moved with intention, not emotion, with clarity, not impulse, with purpose, not ego. He understood that the strongest people are not the ones who fight every battle. They are the ones who choose which battles are worth their energy. They are the ones who do not flinch when life tests them. They are the ones who remain centered while the world tries to shake them. To be unmoved is not coldness, it is mastery. It is calm in chaos. It is strength without noise. It is wisdom in action. In that moment he realized he had finally become what life had been trying to shape him into: someone unshakable, someone deeply aware, someone strategically detached, someone emotionally disciplined, someone who sees reality clearly, someone who cannot be manipulated, someone who has outgrown the world that once broke him. He had become dangerously smart, a mind sharpened by pain, a heart strengthened by loss, a soul forged by discipline, a life rebuilt through wisdom. He saw now that these 8 ruthless Stoic lessons weren't punishments, they were upgrades, each one carving away weakness, each one building clarity, each one bringing him closer to the person he was meant to become. As he stood in his new skin, he finally felt something he had never known before. Peace, not the soft, gentle kind, but the heavy, powerful, unshakable kind. The kind of peace that comes from knowing you can survive anything because you've already survived yourself. If this hit you in the soul, share your thoughts in the comments and let me know which lesson spoke to you the loudest. Watch the other videos on this channel to deepen your understanding of Stoic wisdom and transform your mindset every single day. And don't forget to subscribe to Stoic Spark for daily Stoic insights that will keep you sharp, strong, and unshakable.